Hello gentlemen and ladies, welcome back to another GGTV in-depth Destiny map guide video. I'm Gentleman Gamer, and this time we travel to the rings of Saturn and aboard Oryx's fleet for a comprehensive overview of the dungeons. As usual, if you're looking for more advanced tips like callouts or head glitches, you can always advance to the times currently displayed. The Dungeons is a narrow and symmetrical map that can be found in most playlists, including Rumble. Rift is only available in private match mode. As of the publishing of this video, it has not been featured in Trials of Osiris. The map seemingly takes place on Oryx's Dreadnought, capital ship of the Hive fleet, and features two spawn locations that are only differentiated by minor cosmetic touches. The red spawn is adorned in Hive banners and has working lamps giving off a pinkish hued light, and features some energy cells or power reactors of some kind. While the gray or white side is in a far greater state of disrepair with collapsed or non-functioning lamps. In keeping with the derelict theme, the gray side features a mausoleum-like area filled with the tombs of the Hive's defeated enemies, like Vandals and Dregs. The map is well suited for all playstyles, with a few long sightlines optimal for sniping or scout rifle play, and some tight corridors and corners that lend themselves well to shotgun fusion and sidearm enthusiasts. Let's take a tour of the map and get to know some of the callouts and features. As mentioned, the Dungeons is highly symmetrical along the x-axis, with the spawns being at the absolute extremes of the long and narrow map. At match start, both spawns are completely enclosed by functioning doors that open, and once the match has started, never close again. Both spawn areas feature only one exit, and as a result, when coupled with the map's relative small size, can lead to instances of spawn camping. During normal play, Destiny spawns are programmed to ensure players respawning get to spawn in as safely and far away from enemy combatants as possible. If the spawns are overrun, the game will flip the spawns, placing players behind the push of enemy combatants. In some situations, players can find themselves instantly assaulted and sometimes killed after respawning. Also note that flipping the spawns can have a detrimental effect, especially in games of control, where attacking too far into enemy territory may result in the enemy spawning behind and capturing the opposed control point.
Enemy captured Zone A.
Just outside of the spawn is the initial control point, A on the Alpha side, C on the Bravo side. This is also the location of the rift points in rift mode. To one side of the spawns, on both sides in a mirrored position, is the small antechamber. There are a couple of lamps located near the doorways of the small chamber on the red side that allow for some tricky camping spots and angles.
Give 'em hell.
Some of the lamps are inaccessible for some reason, and the gray side has less lamps available than the red side. Beyond the small chambers are the descending stairwells. To the opposite end of the capture point is the ascending stairs and the location of the first two special ammo spawns. The steps lead to the pedestal. In the middle of the large chamber is a Hive monolith, undamaged on Alpha and broken on Bravo. Beyond the monolith on either side is a balcony shelf with a small corridor branching towards the center of the map, and a Hive wizard imprisoned in a suspended crystal. The spark spawn in rift mode can be found here. Beneath the crystal is a shaft that leads down into B point. More on that in a bit. On the elevated side of the map between the two pedestal rooms is a sloping hallway overlooking Saturn and the rest of Oryx's fleet. Due to the elevation changes in the hallway, this is sometimes called the Ridge. You can find the location of the first of two heavy ammo spawns along the window at the highest part of the ridge. The crystal room can also be accessed from here. The map's lower side, the third and final avenue of movement, features two elevated platforms overlooking B point. Here you can find the location of the elimination overtime capture point. You can find the third and fourth special ammo crates, red and gray respectively, on the platforms. Incidentally, the map-specific ghost found by loading dungeons in private match mode can be found on the floor of the red side platform, seen here. Behind the support column in the main lower chamber is the second and final heavy ammo spawn and the location of the singular heavy ammo spawn in elimination. A quick note regarding the central shaft. It's impossible to jump up through the shaft. There's some kind of one-way invisible barrier that allows Guardians to fall through but prohibits them from escaping up through it, regardless of class abilities or exotics like Bones of Eao. There are 2 exploding hive bombs located on the lower side of the map, found here and here, that can be used to deadly effect. A quick note about radar. It's important on dungeons to have a good understanding of how to read radar elevation because of the multiple levels. The radars will flash solid red when the enemies are on the same vertical plane, and at half opacity when enemies are above or below the plane you currently occupy. Keep this in mind when anticipating an attack or planning one. Where it gets really tricky is on ramps, for instance, where sometimes the radar can be misleading. As far as head glitches are concerned, the dungeons, with the overall lack of chest level cover, is rather simplistic for a change. Perhaps the most well known is the ridge. The long sight line and the slope of the floor allow for multiple positions to conceal oneself. A quick side note, you can use downed enemy ghosts to quickly assess head level for sniping. Aim over the floating ghost by about another ghost's length, and this will assure that the reticle is just over the enemy's head. This is especially useful for covering orbs and elimination. Although platform-to-platform sniper battles are common on the lower side, it's the elevation changes on the side ramps leading towards B that really allow for some good cover while shooting towards the entrance of the monolith chamber or the stairwells.
Let them burn in your light.
Players will sometimes also use the slope of the small branching corridors in the middle as well. If you're still watching, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at GentlemanGamer7 and on Twitch at GentlemanGamerTV. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. The Gentleman is out.